Yo, what's good? I'm Don.
I'm Deuce Major, and today's topic is Across the Spider-Verse.
And this is the Nerd Box.
All right, so today, since we're going into Across the Spider-Verse, we're going to give a spoiler-free review. As far as the movie go, man, how you thought? What you feel about it?
So, for me, the movie as a whole was definitely like a 10 or 9. I would say 9.5, 10. The ending was straight garbage. Like, yeah. I know it's a lot of people that kind of give it a pass because the movie is so good, but man, the last movie came out 2018. Yeah, and we waited from 2018. It is 2023 right now. For that. It's like, no, man, we deserve a little bit more than that. You know what I mean? Like, they could have ended it a whole lot worse than what they ended it. But the ending, I'd probably give it maybe a 5. Just because it could have went a whole lot worse.
Movie-wise, I give it a solid 9. It was a phenomenal film. You know, like you said, the ending really dunked it for me. But right now, it's been a lot of cliffhangers with stuff, so I really feel that was a personal shot. And for it to be a 2-hour and 19-minute long movie, I feel like there's no reason for it to have been cut the way it was cut. You know what I'm saying? And for that matter, with the 2018 wait up until now, you would think that the movie would at least be, if it was going to be a 3-parter, it would at least be a complete portion. And I know a lot of people are saying, oh, it wasn't chopped in half. This movie was chopped in half.
Yeah, you can definitely tell it was chopped in half, man.
It was chopped in half.
And you know, it's a lot of people that say this and say that. But me personally, I'm sure that this movie was supposed to go a different way than what it went. And I appreciate the movie for what it is. Like I said, phenomenal movie, but yeah, not the way that they went about it.
It's hard to say that parts of the film could have been chopped back. You know, it felt pretty flush with every part, but it does feel like parts could have been chopped back. You know,
yeah.
You know,
like definitely. Like towards the beginning. Yeah. Like it felt like a whole, like, matter of fact, before you went to see the movie, I definitely told you like those certain parts that really wasn't needed.
I saw that.
But it followed the flow of the first movie from them doing that.
And when you watching it, you understand why they telling you all this. They kind of recapping you in the beginning, which they really didn't have to do, you know.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure like the movie was so anticipated. Yeah. I'm more than certain almost everybody who went to go see this movie watched the first one before they went to see this one. And
when you looking at it on Spider-Gwen's little recap and they explain what happened, you know, what's going on with her at the time, it felt like that whole piece was just a lot longer exposition than what it needed to be. Like, it could have been short. They could have got straight to the point, you know, explain the woes of her life and got on. Honestly, they really didn't even need to do that. It felt like they were reintroducing characters we had just spent so much time with in another movie. But when I think about it, I'm like, well, the movie came out in 2018. I'm pretty sure they felt like they had to do that.
I mean, I don't know why they felt like they needed to do that unless it was somebody that was just new to the movie. It's like, hey, it's a Spider-Man movie. Let me go watch this. But for everybody else, man, it's like the movie, it hits you home so well just because how good the movie was. They really didn't have to do it because it's not like it was a forgettable movie.
No, not at all. Not at all.
And you know, and we're talking about the Across, was it Across?
Yeah, Across the Spider-Verse.
Across the Spider-Verse. What, Into the Spider-Verse, the first one.
Yeah, Into the Spider-Verse.
Into the Spider-Verse was so good to the point that it's being compared to live action.
But you know what? And as far as Marvel, I know that they do a lot of, and they got it from the Iron Man movies, where they did a lot of on-spot acting and and kind of winging it, so to say. You could tell that with this movie, with the Spider-Man movie, it was well structured from beginning to end. It didn't deviate from the plan. It wasn't too many rewrites. And if it was, they made sure it was structured properly. You know, they weren't going in and like, oh, on the drop of a whim, this line was put in because it sounded good, or we want this part to do this now, we reshoot. And you know, Marvel is known for doing reshoots up until the very last minute that they possibly can. Yeah. And with animation, you know, you really can't do that. Everything's got to be storyboarded and handled in a particular way, so there's really no margin for error. You know, so with that, I can see why people are comparing it to that on that level, because the story is just, you can tell it's so much more flushed out than anything we done got recently in the MCU. Yeah. You know.
But I mean, at the same time, it maybe is more flushed out because this right here is kind of like Sony's baby. Yeah. And it technically speaking, it's not a Disney movie.
No, it's in association with Marvel.
Yeah. So that might be why it seems a little bit more flushed out, which is why most of the Marvel things that Sony do don't seem as flushed out, because they don't make their films that long.
And you know, that's why I wouldn't give Sony full credit for flushing the story out like this. It's somebody on the storyboard and is doing their job, and they doing a damn good job of it. You know, they had you could tell there was a whole plan. I can't say that the plan was supposed to be like this for the sequel, to be chopped in half like that. I can't say that was the plan, but either he knew that he could make more money, he or she, whoever's the writer, I'm not entirely sure, but they either figured, okay, if I chop it right here, I can make a whole lot more money and stretch this thing out, because it's just that good of a story. And I'd be lying if I said if I'm not going to see the third one. I'll be there front and center.
Yeah. So my question is, how do you feel about the pacing of this movie?
Like I said, it was, and I don't want to call them dry spots, because it wasn't dry spots, but it was just a lot of exposition dump, you know, that you didn't need. Like you get into a certain universe and they're explaining each universe as they go into them, you know, or to a certain extent, and they're explaining things, you know, and instead of just going straight through it, you know, straight to the point, you know, it felt like they were kind of jumping around to get to the main plot. So it paced out pretty well, but it had things that kind of stretched it out and deviates it from here to there. You find yourself deviated from the main storyline a few times. Nothing too major to be a distraction, but pace-wise, I would give it a B. It does kind of move awkwardly paced to me anyway.
Got you. So, I don't know, man. I think pace-wise, it started off kind of slow in a sense. It's like they tried to speed it up, but ultimately it started off kind of slow. Yeah. But I'm not mad at the stuff that you get between leading up to like the action and everything that this movie is actually about. So I don't know, man. The pacing is probably what you said, probably about a B or just above a B. You know, not necessarily right there at A, maybe a B plus.
Which is why I was like, I can't really call it dry spots, you know, because when you look at it, you know, you're like, okay, I understand why they put it right here. Yeah. But it's too much. It's too much of that right there, you know, in certain spots. And then there's the dramatic moments that get stretched out, you know, like the reveal at the end. You know, I'm not gonna say what the reveal is, but they kind of already hint at it, and if you're paying attention, you already know what's literally about to happen. And he's so shocked, and then they stretch it out to this big reveal, you know. And that part that happens, it is a reveal, you know.
But you know what's crazy? When you look at these videos after everyone's seen this movie, and you look at the reveals and the stuff that people go back and see from that first movie, they revealed it in the first movie.
And it's like stuff like that. If you're paying attention, you kind of see the reveal coming. So the fact that they're doing these long, drawn out, reveals on top of what you already should know if you really pay attention to the movie, it just kind of feels unnecessary. It's like going to see a Jason movie and you can see him in the woods. and then they do this big reveal for the people that's in the woods with him, like, oh, we didn't know you were right there, but we knew, we saw. But the reveal just got stretched out so much longer than what it needed to be. And like I said, I get everything they were trying to do. The hype and anticipation is well earned, so when they going into it, it's like, okay, I get you. You knew this was gonna be a big moment, but it didn't hit because I already kind of knew what was about to happen. Yeah. But overall though, man, it was a bomb movie. Best Spider-Man movie I've watched in a while.
So how does it compare to the first one? I mean, I know you just said it was the best one you've seen in a while, but how does it compare? I wouldn't say in a while because the last Tom Holland movie just came.
It was fire. That's comparable. I see why they say that. It is comparable. And the only reason only thing that makes it comparable is the fact that they use live action things, and stuff like that. So it's like they were reaching for the stars. They definitely reached for the stars, and with Tom Holland's movie, it's like the Spider-Man that they brought in, it's kind of I want to say a cash grab. You got moments where, like when what's his name from the Amazing Spider-Man series, he comes in and through the portal, and it's this long awkward silence, and you could tell those moments they set up for you to go like this and whoa, They don't have those type of moments in the Spider-Man across the Spider-Verse, but
I mean, in a sense, they kind of do.
They kind of do.
They kind of like they had a few. They had a few, but we'll get into all that later. A little bit later.
But you can feel it more into that the Tom Holland movie. It felt like when those moments happened, it just felt like, oh, we're supposed to be.
But with the Tom Holland movie, I don't think it was so much more of that they did it. It was just the fact that people was looking for it, but wasn't looking for it because of rumors. Yeah. And they kept getting put off like, no, that's not it. That's not it. So when it actually happened, it's like, okay, there we go.
Well, they'll never be able to take the steam from that movie because it did something that's never been done first.
And I think that's what Tom Holland understand. Yeah. Because I've just seen an article. I don't know how true it is anyway. So take it with a grain of salt. He was saying like the only way he'd come back to do another movie or anything, they have to guarantee they top the last one. If they can't top the last one, they said he's not coming back. But like I said, don't know if that's actually what he said or not.
I mean, I could understand if he did say that. I could understand why he would say that. Especially after.
I mean, at this point, there's really no reason for him to really say it. Besides, he wants to go on, do other things.
And then not to mention, I think he already signed on for like a few more appearances. Not no big movies, if I'm not mistaken, or he might. I'm not sure. I have to go back and look, but. I'm pretty sure he signed on to do some more Spider-Man roles, even if they small.
Like he was really set on like going to spend some time with Zendaya and everything.
I mean? They definitely give him his time off. Spider-Man is the baby of both Sony and Marvel. Yeah, they gonna give him as much time as he needs.
Yeah, but I mean, if he's looking at it like we have to top the last movie in order for me to come back, if he's looking at it in that point, and say they can't top the last movie,
there's no point in doing it.
They really threw you in these movies, like threw you in Civil War, to build you up all the way on this pedestal, and you just dive right off of it. You know what I mean? Yeah. And was like, all right, F all that. I'm gonna go do something else. because I understand not want to be branded as Spider-Man, especially after you probably talk to the other two guys and they probably explain like everywhere they go, Spider-Man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially Toby. But at this point, it's too late.
Yeah.
It's too late at this point. You're already inside of that bracket.
Yeah. Well, you know, as far as the being better, I agree. It's gotta definitely go above and beyond. Because when you look at the Tom Holland Spider-Man movies, they've progressively gotten bigger. You know, the first one was street level,
and look,
you know, it was definitely street level. They had alien tech that they was salvaging from, and then in the second one we got Mysterio, which could have been a street level, but they turned it into the first hint at the multiversal, you know, world and whatnot. And then the third one is literally the multiverse. And then you got this Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse movie, you know, and they just went into so much more depth. Yeah. I think I would be a little disappointed if they didn't go a little bit deeper into, especially this web of destiny. And
now they don't technically have to go too much deeper in it. They do have to make the next movie better.
Yeah.
And out of every villain that I've seen, the one villain that I actually wanted, they're actually doing it in a video game.
Ooh.
Kraven.
Oh, you know, he's still getting a movie though, ain't it, huh?
Yeah, exactly. Like like they don't use them.
Yeah.
Like you have all these great villains. They can use Madam Web event. Like they can put her in a movie and they can literally do the Spider Wars. But you're not thinking that was one of the movies they're going to be coming out with, right?
They plan on doing like a what's the name movie? A Madam Web movie first. I don't know how that's gonna play into the whole Spider Universe thing that they building. Because Marvel and Sony are building this Spider-Man universe, whether people see it or not, outside of Marvel.
Mercy, I don't. God forgives, I won't. We living in a cold world, can't always get what you want. I try my best to understand, but truth be told.